Reece James is a monster.
There's no doubt he's an absolutely unbelievable football player. The versatility he brings to this team, the set pieces that he can bring, he's got all the tools.
Not only is this guy Chelsea through and through, wearing the captain's armband with pride.
We're talking about a player who's been in the first team environment now for many years and has become a senior player for this group. He's been at the club nearly 20 years.
But he just takes the Blues to a whole other level when he's on the pitch. It doesn't matter whether he's playing at right back or in the center of the park, he just dominates.
He's been playing as a midfielder, and before I was saying to Ian that I like him more on the right side, but I might change my mind because the performance today was excellent.
The power in his runs, the precision of his crosses, the calmness in his defending. It's very easy to make the argument that when he's fully fit, he is the best in the world at what he does.
Who's the best right back in the world?
Reece James.
Why?
Just got everything. Everything.
Yeah.
If I can make the complete right back, it would be him. Defend, attack.
Pace.
Technically, both foot, dead ball situations.
But that's the thing, when he's fit. Injuries have been his biggest battle. Every time he's looked unstoppable, something would pull him back. Every comeback looked like the start of something special, only for another setback to hit. Yet Reece never lost motivation. He never stopped working, never stopped believing. And he's back to dominating again. This is the rise, fall, and redemption of Reece James. Reece James was born in December of 1999 in London, and Chelsea was always in his blood. From a young age, he was obsessed with football, and even more obsessed with Chelsea. He joined the club's academy when he was just 6 years old, running around the pitches at Cobham with big dreams of one day stepping out at Stamford Bridge. As a teenager, Reece climbed through Chelsea's academy ranks, figuring out where he fit best on the pitch. Funny enough, he didn't always play as a right back. He tried striker, midfield, and other roles before finding his perfect spot on the right side of the back line. That's where everything clicked. His strength, balance, and technique made him stand out immediately. By the 2017-2018 season, he was captain of the Chelsea under-18 team. He wore the armband and led by example. That year, he helped the team win the FA Youth Cup, and he was named Chelsea's Academy Player of the Season. Everyone watching could tell this kid had something special. To take the next step, Chelsea sent him out on loan to Wigan in the Championship for the 2018-2019 season. It was supposed to be a test for him. Could an 18-year-old handle the physical side of top-level men's football? Well, given the fact that Reece James is built like a fridge, he didn't just handle it, he dominated. He made his professional debut in August of 2018, scored a stunning free kick in November, and ended the season as Wigan's Player of the Year. He was even named in the Championship Team of the Season. Not bad for a teenager in his first year of senior football. That alone proved he was ready for Chelsea's first team. After that brilliant season at Wigan, Reece James came back to Chelsea in 2019, hungry to prove himself. He did suffer an ankle injury that delayed his debut, but once he recovered, Lampard, who was the Chelsea manager at that time, wasted no time getting him involved. On September 25th, 2019, Reece finally made his debut for the senior team in a League Cup match against Grimsby Town. That's right, the guys who send United packing. He ended up having a great debut. He scored his first Chelsea goal and added 2 assists in a 7-1 win. See, that's what a top Premier League club is supposed to do to a lower league team. Take notes, Amorim. It was a dream start for Reece. Fans and everyone around the club knew this kid was special. Weeks later, Reece James made the headlines again, this time on the biggest stage of all. In a crazy 4-4 Champions League match against Ajax, he came off the bench and smashed in the equalizer.
Up go the heads up across the bar. It's in now! It's Reece James off the bench, the 19-year-old! What a night at Stamford Bridge!
Becoming Chelsea's youngest ever goal scorer in the competition at just 19 years old. That moment didn't just announce him to the Chelsea fans. They already knew about him. It was an announcement to the rest of Europe. From there, Reece's rise just continued. Lampard trusted him more and more, and by the 2019-2020 season, he had made over 30 appearances and signed a long-term contract with the club. Then came one of his iconic early moments, the thunderbolt against Brighton in September of 2020. From outside the box, he smashed the ball into the top corner like it was nothing. That goal really showed what Reece James is all about in a nutshell. Power, precision, and confidence. It was very clear by then. Chelsea had found a gem from their own academy, and Reece James, well, he was only just getting started. By the 2020-2021 season, he had gone from an academy talent to one of Chelsea's most important players. He was only 20 years old, but he played with so much maturity and the calmness of someone who had been in the Premier League for years. When Thomas Tuchel replaced Frank Lampard as the manager halfway through the season, James's role shifted. He became a wing-back in Tuchel's back three system. But once again, it fit him perfectly. He had the energy to run up and down the flank all game. He had the strength to defend and the quality to deliver dangerous crosses. Like, Reece James could easily play center back in that system too. That's how good he is defensively. Every week, fans and pundits started saying the same thing.
Reece James, for me, when fit and firing, is the most complete right back we have in England, and that's a big statement.
It is a
Think
big
about
statement.
Trent and Kyle Walker. He's so good going forward, but he's so good defensively.
Reece James isn't just good, he might actually be the best right back in the world. Whether he was pocketing an elite winger or launching an attack all by himself, he had become the full package as a fullback. Then came his biggest moment yet, the 2021 Champions League final in Porto, Chelsea versus Man City. It was the biggest stage in club football and Reece James was starting, and he absolutely delivered. He played like a wall. Sterling barely got a sniff all night. The whole Man City team couldn't do anything, and that's why Chelsea won 1-0, keeping a clean sheet, lifting the Champions League trophy, and becoming European champions again. And the best part? Reece James was at the heart of it all. From a kid in the academy to a European champion, it felt like the perfect fairy tale moment. That win was just a start. Reece went on to win the UEFA Super Cup later that year, and although he was injured, he was a part of the squad that lifted the FIFA Club World Cup in early 2022. In just a few years, he had gone from dreaming about playing at Stamford Bridge to winning everything there was to win in club football. The following season, Reece took things to another level. He started adding more goals to his game, and not just normal goals like tap-ins and pens. We're talking about bangers. Look at the goal he scored against Newcastle in October 30th, 2021.
Back to Loftus-Cheeks, does strike, it comes back to Reece James. Oh, you are kidding me.
A few weeks later, he smashed home a stunning half volley against Juventus in the Champions League.
It's come through for James here. Oh, he stopped it in. Brilliant from Reece James, who can't stop scoring.
The man was unstoppable, strong defensively, dangerous in the attack, and just oozing confidence. By the end of the 2021-2022 season, he had 5 goals and 8 assists in the Premier League, and that came after missing games due to injury. Those are pretty crazy numbers for a defender. He was nominated for the PFA Young Player of the Year and was widely recognized as one of the best fullbacks in Europe. Chelsea fans loved him not just because of his talent, but because he was one of their own. A Cobham graduate leading the way, representing everything the club stood for. Watching him charge down the right wing, shrug off a defender like he's not even there, and then whip in an inch-perfect cross, it felt like watching the future of Chelsea unfold in real time. And keep in mind, at this point, despite being so young, Reece James had it all. He had power, he had vision, composure. He wasn't just a rising star anymore, he was flat out one of the best right backs in the world. But just when it felt like he was reaching his peak, everything started to go wrong. It was a reminder of how harsh football can be. One minute you're flying, the next you're fighting just to stay on the pitch. For Reece, the trouble really began in late of 2021. During a match against Brighton, he pulled up with a hamstring injury and had to come off. It didn't seem too serious at the time, but that moment marked the start of a long and painful battle with injuries. Chelsea missed him badly during that spell, and even when he returned, the problems kept coming back. The real nightmare began in the following season. In the 2022-2023 season, James started off brilliantly. He was actually flying under the new manager Graham Potter. You don't have to look further than his performance against AC Milan in the Champions League to see just how good he was. He scored, he assisted, and dominated the right side of the pitch on Europe's biggest stage.
For us, we love him. He's so important for us. Like I said, my job is to try and help him reach his potential, and his potential is he could be a Chelsea legend with anybody. You know, that's the level that he has, the potential that he has.
But then just a week later in the return fixture at the San Siro, disaster struck. Reece went down clutching his knee, and you could tell from his face it wasn't good. It turned out to be a serious ligament injury, the kind that takes months to recover from. Worse yet, it came right before the World Cup. Reece tried everything to get fit in time. He even went to Dubai for a specialized rehab, doing everything humanly possible to make the England squad.
First though, Gareth Southgate will name his 26-man England squad for the World Cup tomorrow, and we know it won't include Reece James. Let's start with that, shall we, Jody? Terrible news for Reece. He's battled to try and get fit, but it seems just was too much of a mountain to climb for him.
But when Gareth Southgate told him he wouldn't be going to Qatar, it broke his heart. He posted about it online, saying he'd worked harder than ever and truly believed he could make it back. But his knee just wasn't ready. For a 22-year-old who was set to be England's starting right back, it was devastating. Still though, he pushed on. After months of recovery, he finally returned for Chelsea in December of 2022. But the comeback lasted barely 50 minutes. In his first game back against Bournemouth, he went down again, re-injuring the same knee. That sight of him walking off, covering his face, it said it all. It was heartbreaking. He'd recover, come back, get another injury. Recover, come back, same thing. He made a few appearances in early of 2023, but he just never seemed fully right. Small injuries now kept popping up. A muscle tweak here, a fever there. Then in April, another hamstring injury officially ended his season. Chelsea confirmed that he'd missed the rest of the campaign, and by that point he had missed over 30 games in one season. The team's struggles that year only made things worse. Chelsea finished 12th, and without Reece's leadership and presence on the right side, they just didn't look the same. Then came the summer of 2023, a chance for a fresh start. Reece worked tirelessly to get back to full fitness, and then came a huge opportunity. With Dave leaving, Chelsea handed Reece the captain's armband. The boy who joined the academy at 6 was now the captain of the club he loved his whole life. Fans were over the moon. It felt right, the local lad leading the next generation. But unfortunately, football once again had other plans. In just the second Premier League match of the new season, Reece picked up another hamstring injury. It was just a bad joke at this point. He had too much muscle. He missed nearly 2 months, came back in the fall, and then suffered the same injury again in November. Everyone could see it. His hamstring was just not healing properly. Finally, in December of 2023, he made the tough decision to have surgery to fix it once and for all. The operation ruled him out for almost 5 months, keeping him away until spring of 2024. That stretch was easily the lowest point of his career, from being one of the best right backs in the world to being able to barely play. It was tough to watch. Some fans worried that he'd never get back to his old self. He was now injury prone. But throughout all of this, Reece never stopped trying. He kept training, he kept cheering for his teammates from the bench, and that's the one thing everybody knows about him. He doesn't give up. After months of hard rehab and recovery from his hamstring injury, Reece finally made his return to the pitch in May of 2024. It was near the very end of the season, but it was still nice to see him put on the Chelsea shirt again against Nottingham Forest. The funny part is he came on as a sub, and right away he made an impact. Despite being out for 5 months, he set up the game-winning goal for Nicholas Jackson in a 3-2 win. It was a very short cameo, but it meant everything. You could feel the emotion from the fans. After everything he had been through, the captain was back. That match felt like the start of something new, the beginning of his redemption story. Sure, he still had some bumps along the way. He even picked up a small knock and got a red card at the very end of the season. But mentally, he had turned a corner. Over the summer, he focused on getting his body right, determined that this time, things would be different. When the 2024-2025 season began, Reece was ready. As the captain, he was now the leader of the team. Chelsea were rebuilding, but whenever he was on the pitch, you could see the lift he gave them. There was one small hamstring scare early in the season that kept him out for a couple of months, but when he came back in October of 2024, it was clear he was staying. He looked confident again, powerful and sharp, bombing down the right flank, throwing in crunching tackles, and whipping in that signature cross. That season ended up being something special for both Reece James and Chelsea Football Club. The club entered the UEFA Conference League, which is not the biggest tournament, but it was still a chance for silverware. And with Reece leading the team, Chelsea made the most of it. They beat everyone on their path, and it was captain Reece James who lifted the trophy high. For a player that had been through so much, that moment meant everything. But the winning didn't stop there, because that summer Chelsea went into the Club World Cup, and they won that too. In July of 2025, Reece James once again lifted a trophy, this time as a world champion. From surgeries and setbacks to lifting 2 trophies in a few months, that's redemption in the purest form. It felt like the perfect ending to his comeback story. But then an even better, perfect full circle moment happened. On October 18th, 2025, Chelsea faced Nottingham Forest, the same team that Reece had returned against a few years before. This time it was his 200th appearance for Chelsea, and he marked the milestone in style.
That's a good corner, that. That'll do, Reece James, game 7 match.
An assist, a goal, and a man of the match performance in a 3-0 win. It was honestly poetic. The same club he made his comeback against was now the opponent in his milestone match, and he completely bossed it. You could see it in his smile, the way he celebrated with the away fans. Reece James wasn't just back, he was better than ever. He's the complete right back. I mean, physically the guy is a monster. At 5'10", he's built like a tank. He's got the perfect mix of power and balance. You never see him get bullied off the ball. In fact, usually it's always the other way around. But he's not just physically strong, he's also so fast, quick, explosive. You rarely see somebody this big be this agile, and that combo makes him a nightmare for wingers. He can shut them down 1 second and then sprint past them in the attack in the next. Then on the ball, I mean, the guy is world class. His crossing is his best weapon. Those whipped in deliveries from the right side always create goal scoring opportunities. It's like having a playmaker at right back. And then there's the shooting. When Reece gets the ball anywhere near the edge of the area, you can almost hear the crowd hold their breath. That right foot is a hammer, and we've seen him blast long range goals so many times with the keeper having no chance of stopping it. Not many players in general have that kind of attacking threat, let alone a guy who's technically a defender. It's the exact reason why he stands out from all his competitors. If you also want to stand out, get yourself a Reece James Chelsea jersey from buygamejerseys.com and use code PETTALKS at checkout. Defensively, he's as solid as they come. As I've stated before, he's so good defensively that you can legit play him at center back. It's also why sometimes Maresca plays him as a holding midfielder. That's how good he is. He understands how attackers think. 1v1, you're never going to get by him because he's smart with his positioning. He knows when to be aggressive in the tackle and when to back off. And then add in the fact that he can bully you in the air and on the ground, and it's literally impossible to get by this guy. But what really sets him apart is his footballing brain. It's why Maresca trusts him anywhere on the pitch. He reads the game so well and adapts to whatever system he's in. He can play as a wing back in a back three. He can play as a right back in a back four. He can invert in the middle if he has to. Add in his leadership and what else can you ask for? The guy carries himself like a veteran. And in this young Chelsea team, that's exactly what they need. A leader who sets the tone. He's not just wearing the armband because he's local. He's earned it. And then of course there's the mental side. Reece's career could have easily gone off track with all the injuries he's faced, but every time he fought back. That takes a lot of strength, not just physically but emotionally. To go through months of rehab, come back and still perform at a top level against everything, it shows you how mentally tough he is. And he isn't just returning. Every time he's come back, he's gotten better. He's come through in key big moments. And lastly, you can't ignore the connection he has with the club. He's not just playing for Chelsea, he's playing for his club. You can see it every time he kisses the badge, every time he pumps up the crowd, every time he's lifting a piece of silverware. This is real passion, something that's tough to find in the modern game. And it's why fans love him so much. For Chelsea supporters, Reece isn't just a star, he's one of their own. He's living the dream. And that's what makes his story hit even harder. He's lived through the highs and lows of football already, but his quality has stayed consistent. Even when his body let him down, his mindset never did. He refused to be defined by his injuries. And now with more than 200 games for Chelsea and the captain's armband wrapped around his arm, he's leading the team into a new era. To see how good the Chelsea team around him is, you gotta watch this video right here.